Well, hi, all my friends. Well, I'm getting a late start here on my Bible reading. I just had a bunch of stuff I had to have to get done this morning. And so I'm so sorry I'm quite late reading the Bible to you all. But we're in Ezekiel chapter 29, and I'll get started on that in a minute. Still keeping an eye and praying for this North Korea thing to blow over. People of Guam are pretty, at least what they're showing us, seem to be pretty calm and feel pretty confident in our abilities to handle things. So, still praying. I don't care. You know, a little pissant thinks he can just, do whatever he wants. I'm sorry, but China, you got to step up. Okay, you need to step up and get going, rein this guy in. And Russia too. Both of you guys need to do your part. And what's going on with Russia with their little planes flying over the Pentagon? Their spy plane is flying over the Pentagon, and we can't even fly ours over theirs because they said no. Hello. What, come on. Let's get it together. Thinking, what the heck, right? So anyway, come on, guys. We voted you in to do something here. Get the health care. Let's get going. Let's get rolling. Enough of this pussyfooting around, as they say. And she's saying, what? Susan Rice saying that it wasn't tough enough? What Trump said? Oh, that's something. Okay, anyway. All right, so, hey, I was looking at Debbie Lynn's channel. I know I've been talking about her lately, but she cracks me up. I think maybe you'd like her too. For my LGBT friends, okay? When I was growing up, we were kind of poor. Couldn't really afford a lot. I think I mentioned the fact that we moved 16 times or so before I was the age of 5 or 6 years old. A lot. And when we did get settled in, we had a nice home, and my dad was able to afford it. It was like $25,000. This was back in mid-60s, okay? No, this was actually 62, 63. He bought a home in West Hills. And it was like 20,000, 25,000, all said and done. Later sold it for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah. Anyway, he did all right, and bought himself another townhome in a really nice place with tennis courts and pool. And we liked that place too. We were a little older, and we could enjoy it. Play some tennis, jump in the jacuzzi and the pool, and some interesting evenings. But anyway, when we were growing up, we collected blue chip stamps and green what do you call it? God, those stamps. What the heck do you call those stamps? You collect stamps, you put them in a book, and then you take the book down to the store and you could buy stuff with it. What did you call those stamps? Green stamps? I forgot. Anyway, if you guys remember what I'm talking about. And then, of course, we couldn't afford a lot, so my mom would buy bologna, and we'd have these bologna sandwiches, and you'd singe the edge of it, and they pop up in the middle, and you cut a hole in the center so you could flatten it out a little bit. And then you take a bunch of mayo, and some, Wonder Bread, and eat that. Oh, man, that was so good. I can't eat that stuff now. Too many nitrates in those things. But if they're nitrate free, then I can eat them. But yeah, so tell me how many of you guys remember doing that when you were younger. Okay, In the 10th year, in the 10th month, in the 12th day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, isn't that interesting? The 10th year, 10th month, 12th day of the month. You know, this isn't just by coincidence, okay? So remember to pray and bring the Lord into your space as you're hearing his word. Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh's king of Egypt, and prophesy against him and against all Egypt. Speak and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, my river is mine own, and I have made it for myself. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales, and I will bring thee out of the midst of the rivers, and all the fish of the rivers shall stick unto thy scales. And I will leave thee thrown into the wilderness, thee and all the fish of thy rivers. Thou shalt fall upon the open fields, thou shalt not be brought together, nor gathered, and I have given thee for meat to the beast of the field and to the fowls of the heaven. And all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am the Lord, because they have seen a staff of reed in the house of Israel. And when they took hold of thee by thy hand, thou didst break and rent all thy shoulder, and when thou leaned upon thee, thou breakest and madest all their loins to be at a stand. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will bring a sword upon thee, and cut off man and beast out of thee. And the land of Egypt shall be desolate and waste, and they shall know that I am the Lord, because he hath said, the river is mine, and I have made it. Behold, therefore I am against thee, and against thy rivers, and I will make land of Egypt utterly waste and desolate, from the tower of Syene, Syene, even to the border of Ethiopia. No foot of man shall pass through it, nor foot of beast shall pass through it, neither shall it be inhabited 40 years. And I will make land of Egypt desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and their cities among the cities that are laid waste, and shall be desolate 40 years. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and will disperse them through the countries. Yet thus saith the Lord God, at the end of 40 years will I gather the Egyptians from the people whither they were scattered, and I will bring again the captivity of Egypt, and will cause them to return unto the land of Pharaohs, in the land of their inhabitation, and they shall be there at the base kingdom. Oh, by the way, speaking of pharaohs, did you read recently in the news that they found a pharaoh that was actually a Nephilim giant, huge, 12, 13 feet tall, okay? And it perfectly preserved his DNA and everything. I just thought you guys would want to know that in Egypt, okay? Yeah. And it shall be the basis of the kingdoms. That was in either the Drudge Report or Breitbart News, one of the two. Yesterday, I read it. Okay, all right. And it shall be the basis of the kingdoms. Neither shall it exalt itself any more above the nations, and I will diminish them, that they shall no more rule over the nations. And it shall be no more the confidence of the house of Israel, which bringeth their iniquity to remembrance, and they shall look after them, but they shall know that I am the Lord God. And it came to pass in the 7th and 20th year, in the 1st month, in the 1st day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, caused his army to serve a great service against Tyrus. Every head was made bald, every shoulder was peeled, yet had he no wages, nor his army for Tyrus, for the service that he had served against it. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will give the land of Egypt into Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he shall take her multitude, and take her spoil, and take her prey, and it shall be the wages for his army. I have given him the hand of Egypt, it's not the hand, the land of Egypt, for his labor, where he served against it, because they wrought for me, saith the Lord God. And in the day when I cause the horns of the house of Israel to bud forth, I will give thee the opening of the mouth in the midst of them, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Okay, and then chapter 30 goes into the desolation of Egypt and her helpers. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Howly, woe, worth the day, woe worth the day. For the day is near, even the day of the Lord is near, a cloudy day, and it shall be the time of the heathen. And the sword shall come upon Egypt, and a great pain shall be in Ethiopia, when the slain shall fall in Egypt, and they shall take away her multitude, and her foundations shall be broken down. Ethiopia and Libya and Lydia, and the mingled people of Chub, and the men of the land that is in the league, shall fall with them by the sword. Thus saith the Lord, they also that uphold Egypt shall fall. The pride of her power shall come down. From the tower of Syene, Syene, shall they fall in it by the sword, saith the Lord God, and they shall be desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities shall be in the midst of the cities that are wasted. And they shall know that I am the Lord, and I have set a fire in Egypt, and when all the helpers shall be destroyed. And in that day shall messengers go forth from me in ships to make careless Ethiopians afraid, and great pain shall come upon them, as in the day of Egypt, for lo, it cometh. Thus saith the Lord God, I will also make a multitude of Egypt to cease by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. He and his people with them, terrible of the nations, shall be brought to destroy the land. And they shall draw their swords against Egypt, and fill the land with slain. And I will make rivers dry, and sell the land into the hand of the wicked. And I will make the land waste, and all of that is therein, by the hand of strangers. I, the Lord, have spoken it. Thus saith the Lord God, I will also destroy the idols, and I will cause their images to cease out of Noph, N-O-P-H, and there shall be no more a prince of the land of Egypt, and I will put a fear in the land of Egypt. And I will make Pharaohs desolate, and I will set fire in Zoan, and I will execute judgment in No, N-O. And I will pour my fury upon Sin, the strength of Egypt, and I will cut off the multitude of No. And I will set fire in Egypt, Sin, and have great pain, and No shall be rent asunder, and No shall have distress daily. The young men of Avin and Pi-beseth fall by the sword, and these cities shall go into captivity. The Telephanes also, the day shall be darkened, and I shall break there the yokes of Egypt, and pump of her strength shall cease in her, and for her a cloud shall cover her, and her daughters shall go into captivity. Thus will I execute judgment in Egypt, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month of the 7th day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and lo, it shall not be bound up to be healed, to be put a roller to bind it, to make it strong to hold the sword. And I'm going to stop right there at verse 22, and I'll continue in the next video right now. If you can watch it, great. If you can't, come watch it another time. I hope you're having a blessed day. It's Friday. Take care, folks. Bye.